Hi, it's Nina Cooke, and thank you so much for joining me today on the Entrepreneur's Inner Game podcast. I am thrilled to welcome Michael Serwa as my guest today. Michael is the highest paid life coach in the UK. He coaches the elite using his signature no bullshit approach. He's the author of From Good to Amazing. He's been featured in Forbes and The Telegraph and interviewed on BBC World News Channel. Michael, welcome. It is such a pleasure to have you here, and I know we're going to have an amazing 30 minutes together.
I feel the same way. Thank you for having me, Nina.
You are so welcome.
I'm pumped. Let's do this.
Fantastic. So, Michael, let's just start from the beginning.
Right.
How did you go from, I know, not earning very much, setting yourself up as a life coach in the UK? How did you go from there to being the highest paid life coach?
Right. So do you want me to go back before starting my coaching business or start when because it's...
Well, we've got 30 minutes and I'd love to cover other things as well. So if you can give us the quick version, but give us all the meat and the juice about, we're interested in mindset.
Okay.
What was your thinking that got you there?
Sure. Okay. So I'm going to make it as short as possible because I could go on. I was in one of the best high schools in my city, which is one of the biggest cities in Poland. And I quit at 17. I was supposed to be a lawyer, a doctor, and everybody was convincing me myself that's what's going to happen. But I was bored. So I quit. Everybody thought I lost it. So I don't have any traditional education of any kind. But from teenage years already, I knew that I was different in a sense that I had this desire for greatness. So I had a very short period when I thought I'm gonna use the vehicle of the instrument called trumpet that everybody will know. So that was the first thing before coaching, the only thing before coaching that I was so passionate about. But because of the reasons not within my control, I couldn't pursue that career. You can find more about it in my book. There's a whole story there. Long story short, at 22, I've done all sorts of things between 17 and 22, all sorts of things to make some money because my parents were like, hey, if you don't study, you have to make your own money, which is a very good parenting in my opinion. So from the 17, I was kind of dependent on myself financially. Then I've waited, and when Poland became part of European Union, I came to the UK on the bus for 27 hours because I couldn't afford the plane ticket. I don't recommend this journey. It's an awful journey. Take a plane. 27 hours without money. So I came here without money, but I came here with this attitude of I am going to make it. I made a decision that I'm going to make it. I made a decision that I'm going to be success. Now, at 22, I didn't have a clue what vehicle I'm going to use. And then after spending 6 years in fashion retail, just, working different jobs, relatively successful career, but in a field that I didn't love. And then when I discovered coaching at 27, that's when I knew I'm done. Like, this was my calling. I felt it very strongly from the start. It's like, aha, this is it. This is the vehicle I'm going to use to become the best. And then, as you said, I started very small at £20 per session, which even for coaching is extremely little. And how do I get to where I am right now? I've been pushing myself, working really hard and really believing in myself for the last 6 years. And every 6 to 12 months, I've been basically doubling my fees. Doubling and doubling and doubling. So when you keep doubling your fees, then in 6 years, you can go from £20 per session to much more per session, basically. But the main, this could be one of your probably future questions, but I'm going to answer it now because I like to be a step ahead. People often ask me, especially in interviews, how come you are the highest paid life coach in the UK? Why you? What's so special about you? And now, I never thought about myself as special in terms of having supreme level of raw coaching talent. When I first started, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I experimented on my first clients. Nobody died on me. I'm very proud to say no client has ever died on me yet. But I very much experimented on this £20 per session client. But because I was charging only £20 per session, everybody was happy anyway because it was very little money, even for those people at the time, right? And I could still get some results for them. So it wasn't the coaching talent to begin with, right? But what I've done differently, and I'm clear on that, is that, speaking of mindset, I've made a decision. I've made a firm decision. You know, I've made a vague decision that I'm going to be successful coming here on the bus. But when I discovered the vehicle, I've made a decision that I'm going to make this career a success. And I've been waking up with that thought in my head for the last 6 years. It's never left me. I had my ups and downs. There were moments where, like, now I'm like extreme high, but there were moments, like periods, when I was like, oh yeah, I love what I do. Yeah, I really love what I do. And I was like, I freaking love what I do. So you go through the periods like that, and the idea is not to allow yourself to be in that place where, like, oh, I'm not sure, and is this the right thing for me to do? You know, and it's very easy to think like that sometimes if you're not doing too well. It's very easy to question your choice if you're not doing too well. And I say work harder instead of trying to change the industry or career.
Brilliant. So I'm really interested in your making this decision, because everything comes from that decision.
Yeah.
What would you say to people who are listening, who are feeling, you know, don't feel that passionate about it, I'm quite enjoying it, but how do they make that decision? How do they get into that place in their thinking where they think, I'm going to commit to this? Because it's being 100% committed, isn't it? That really changes everything. And I know when I'm really fixed on a project and I work through it, I get a good result. So what would you say to people who are saying, well, I haven't really made that decision yet, and maybe I'm a bit too lazy to make that decision, maybe it's going to be too much hard work? What would you say to them to really get them to commit?
Okay, so now, because I think the way I think, I wouldn't expect, and I've made that decision, I wouldn't expect everyone to think in the same way. So I'm not forcing my advice on people, right? Your audience, you know, I know you have some great people there in your tribe, but they're not my clients. And what I mean by that is that they haven't made a decision to work with me. They didn't give me the permission to give them hard time, right? So they're just people listening and, you know, thinking, oh, what should I do? So I don't go around and say, hey, you should work harder. Hey, you should make a decision, because it's none of my business. In a way, it works for me that other coaches don't take it seriously as much as I take it seriously, because it's easy for me. To be perfectly honest, it wasn't that hard to be the best in the UK because the competition is not that strong. Not because there's not enough talented coaches. I see some of my most junior associates, apprentices, they tell me about the things they do with the clients. I'm like, Jesus freaking Christ, there's so much raw coaching talent there. But that means nothing at the end of the day if you don't make that decision. So, you know, how can you make that decision? You just bloody make it, right? But but to be fair, I will go back just one level, kind of before that. To be fair, it was relatively easy for me to make that decision about coaching because coaching is just so perfect for me. Now, I've witnessed many coaches, many people in general falling into professions because, like, you know, how many times I've seen someone saying, like, I'm doing so well. Oh, Michael's doing so well. Maybe I should become a coach too. They had no background and interest in psychology, personal development whatsoever. They barely have any people skills. They don't really like people very much, but they see someone doing well, making a lot of money from coaching. Oh, I should become a coach too. If you are one of those coaches listening to it, stop doing it. You have no chance. You have no chance. If you fell into it, if you thought, oh, that's the easy way to make money, first of all, it's not. Second of all, you have no chance of succeeding. So go back to focusing on your job as an accountant, or, you know, your job in a bank or Starbucks, whatever, because it's bloody hard. It's hard to make money in any industry, and I think especially coaching. So you have to, first and foremost, to your question, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love everything about it, or almost everything about it. You will have consultations with people that you're not gonna like sometimes. You're gonna have difficult clients. You're gonna have moments when you don't feel like getting out of bed, and then you look at your calendar and you have three sessions back to back, and you're thinking, Jesus, these people come to me, they pay me to empower them, and the last thing I want is to leave the freaking bed. And, you know, I have those days. I have those periods, even whole periods like that. So, it's like, oh, Michael, how to have a happy relationship? Well, first of all, make that relationship with the right person. Because it's going to be awful if it's the wrong person. It's the same with career. But if you truly love what you do, if you ask yourself, and you've been really honest with yourself, if you really love what you do, then there's no excuses. Because if I could do it, so can you. I'm not special. My mindset that I've developed is special. I'm not special. I don't have, unusually high IQ or EQ or, some talents that other people do not have. Far from it. I work on a daily basis with people who are smarter than me. I work on a daily basis with people who are more talented than me. It doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. If you don't have that mindset to support it, if you don't have that hunger, and how do you develop that hunger in someone? I don't know. I don't even know how I developed it myself. I don't know how to develop the hunger in you. I say, hey, maybe you have what it takes to develop that hunger, but first of all, you have to find the balls to make a decision to say, you know what, from today or from tomorrow, the latest, I'm going to take that thing I'm doing seriously. Enough with excuses. Enough with saying, if you are a coach, enough with saying, oh, people don't have money for coaching. Freaking bullshit, come on. Like, you want to see my bank account, right? It's finding those people. And it's presenting what you do in a way that's compelling, selling this coaching to them, right? If it's the right thing for them, right? But it takes guts, because we learn something as children already. The only guaranteed way to avoid failure is to never attempt the task in the first place. So we know that if we say, especially if we say to the outside world as well, hey, this is what's going to happen. Now the pressure is on. There's no going back anymore, because we exposed ourselves. So for most people, it's like even exposing yourself to yourself can be hard. I'm saying, hey, either quit doing what you're doing and get a safe job. But if you're an entrepreneur of any kind, you either gonna have to play full out, or you're gonna fail. There is no one way or another. It's like being pregnant. You either are pregnant or you're not. Right? You have no chance. I've seen so many 100% dedicated entrepreneurs doing that thing that they love to do, and they still struggled. It wasn't always easy for me. It wasn't an easy ride, right? So if super dedicated people struggle, what chances do you have if you're not dedicated? If you don't make that decision? So, hey, listen, everybody listening to that, tomorrow you can die. Tomorrow you can go to a local grocery shop and you can get hit by the car and die. There's absolutely no certainty that you're going to live forever. So why not living today? I know it's a big cliche. Why not living today as if it was the last day of your life? Because I'm telling you this, if I get hit by the bus tomorrow on my way to the gym, I had to say that I go to the gym, right? If it's not obvious. If I get hit by the bus and I'm laying down on Regent Street, and I know I'm about to die in 5 seconds, I will have zero regrets. Zero. I can die without feeling bad about anything. And if you can live your life like that, then you win. You win every day. I don't feel like I'm winning now because I make whatever I make, or I have these great clients. I've been winning every day for the last 6 years. Because I've been living, I was brave enough, I made that decision, and you can make that decision. I've been living every day. Every day I've been living from that place of, I love what I do. I live my life of purpose, basically. I live my life from that place of purpose. And you can do it. It's a matter of decision. Make that bloody decision.
Yes, stop living the half-life of enthusiasm.
No, exactly. So you can kind of safely get to retirement at 65 and then take cruise for 12 days, and just wait until you die. What kind of life is that? Take those risks, announce, it's not enough for you to expose yourself to yourself. announce to people in your life, hey, listen, this is what I'm going to do in the next 12 months. Watch. And now the pressure is on. There's no going back.
Yes.
If you can't hold yourself accountable, if that's not enough, make everybody else hold you accountable.
Brilliant. I love it. It is committing. It's committing and doing something you love. And if it's not something, if you're doing something that you don't love, then as you said, go and find something that you really do love and you can commit to fully. It may not be coaching. It may not be being a business on your own. It may be something else.
It's not for everybody. It's absolutely
not for everyone.
Entrepreneurship in general, you know.
Yes.
And I'm not looking down on people who have jobs in the bank or who are accountants. I actually spoke to my accountant today. I love my accountant. You know, he's a great guy. It doesn't matter what it is that you do. Who cares? I have as much respect for an escort as I have for a PhD doctor. I don't care. It's what kind of person you are for me. But it's nobody's business what you do. So do that thing that you love. Do that thing that make you happy. Because as Steve Jobs said, the only way to do great work is to do something that you love.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I'd love to talk to you about pricing and putting pricing up, because this is a big issue that business owners struggle with.
Yeah.
And they worry about if they put their price up, people won't want to pay them. Therefore, they play it safe, but they don't feel they're getting the value that they're actually giving. They're not getting the value back from their clients. You started off at £20 an hour. Did you at any time feel blocked about your pricing? And if you did, how did you overcome that block to be able to raise your prices?
Okay, so I certainly didn't feel blocked to charge £20 per session. I charged £20 per session for two reasons. Number one, because that's what I was comfortable. That's what I felt. Can you imagine me? So it was only 6 years ago. Can you imagine me not having balls to ask more than £20 per session? Yeah, and this is
hard. It's very hard.
I know, right? This is a true story. You know, I didn't have the guts to ask for 50 when I started. So that was the main reason. And partially, I thought, okay, if everybody else is charging at least £50, this is slightly off topic, but as a business owner, you always have to think about what's unique about you and your offering. So there was no bullshit style of coaching here. There was no Michael Serwa brand. There was none of this. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, right? So how can I stand out? I'm going to charge £20 per session. Nobody else charges £20 per session. There's some people doing practice clients, practice coaching, etc. for free. And then you have £50 per session onwards, right? So, and it really worked. I got 20 clients within the first 3 months. And then through that experience of working with 20 people and having 20 plus consultations to get these 20 clients, naturally my confidence in my ability went up. So as it went up, I thought, okay, I'm ready now. £50 per session. And I've done it for 6 months, 20, 25, I don't remember, no, exactly, 20 to 30 clients, it's £50 per session. One of the things I've done well, looking back, I've paced myself. And as much as I like money and what money can buy, especially, and, great lifestyle, whatever, I wasn't greedy. I like money, but I'm not greedy. It's the greed that sometimes leads people, or arrogance that leads people to go, oh, this guy is charging X. I'm going to charge X as well. Hold on a minute. This guy, or this woman, she's been doing it for 3 years. She earned her right to charge what she charges. Just like I feel like I've earned my right to charge what I charge right now. It's like, oh, that's a lot. So yeah, I freaking earned it, right? I earned my, that was so close. I was like, do not swear, Michael. Like if I swear or something, why did you say that?
I've got my editing machine.
So 6 months, £50 per session. And then again, my confidence went up and I was charging £75 per session, £100 per session. So yes, here's how I see it. So at the beginning, you want to charge what you feel comfortable charging. Because you see, you can say, if I'm your coach, you can say to me, oh, I'm going to be charging X. But the idea is to say it to the prospect and own it. Like nobody would pay me whatever, 10K for coaching if they ask me, okay, so how much it is, Michael, at the end of the consultation? And I went, it's 10K. Because for people to feel confident to pay you what you want them to pay you, they need to first see you confident asking for it. I can drop 10, 20K like this at this point. If you asked me to do it even 3 years ago, I'll be like, there's no way I could ask. The 10K wouldn't come out of my mouth comfortably. So charge what you're comfortable charging, and then if you are a coach, fill up your practice with clients. You want to be as busy as you can. You want to work, no matter what industry you're in, you want to be as busy as you can possibly be. And when you reach that point that you can't take any more clients on, that's when you put your fees up. And that's what I've been doing for the last 6 years. When I got to the point where I've been getting more clients than I could handle, I was putting my fees up. In my case, not by 10 or 20%, by 100% typically. Yeah, and I'm anticipating another increase next year because I can just see what's going on. I can anticipate those things a few months in advance typically.
So those business owners who have a fairly full client list, but they're still worried about raising their prices substantially because they don't have the confidence to do it.
Yeah.
What would you say to them?
They need to hire you as a coach, or they need to hire me as a coach. So we can give them, we say in coaching, right? Permission. John, it's okay to put your fees up. Oh, is it? Yes, it is. Go for it. Okay, I will.
And it's as simple as that.
Yes.
It's giving yourself permission to do it.
Yeah, exactly. There'll be exceptions, different industries, like if you're a personal trainer, for example, it will be very hard for you to charge more than, let's say, £500 for a personal training session. Even if you work with billionaires, they'll be like, hold on, you're a personal trainer. There's a cap as to how much you can charge, right? If you are a coach or consultant, right, there's absolutely no limit as to how much you can charge, right? Tony Robbins charging $2 million, right, for 12 coaching sessions over the course of a year. That's quite a lot, So that's and nobody said that that's the maximum we can charge as a coach. That's just what Tony Robbins charges, who's the highest paid life coach on the planet, among other things, right? So, if you have as you said, if someone has a full practice and people are happy to pay here's something that I've learned that can be useful for some of you listening. If nobody complains about your pricing, it means that it's not high enough. If everybody complains about your pricing, it means that it's too high. So you want to find a sweet spot in between the two. I know that when I don't get reactions like this every now and then about my fees, I know it's the time to put my fees up. If people will go, huh? I know. If everybody's like, yeah, okay, I was expecting you to say something like that. Ooh, okay. It's becoming comfortable. And then another thing is, if you feel comfortable, if you feel 100% comfortable about asking what you ask for, then you don't challenge yourself anymore. So you're not playing full out. Like, you want your clients to play full out, but you're not playing full out because you're just like within your comfort zone. So like, yes, you gotta feel comfortable enough to ask, like I said earlier, with confidence. But when you get to the point when you just like, when it does nothing to you, that's another indicator that perhaps it's time to put your fees up. And when you do it, please don't do it by 10, 20%, because that's like an inflation, goes up like, the products in the shop goes up by 10, 20%, you can do better than that. At least 50% increase. Anything less than 50% is not it's inflation kind of thing. It's not a serious. Don't think that, I'm so brave, I put my fees up by 12%. No, it's not gonna cut it. But like, one of the great things about charging premium, so the first one is obvious. You charge premium, and I'm not saying that I charge premium so my clients can appreciate the work even more and get even more out of it. That's the second reason why I charge what I charge. The first one is because I'm freaking worth it. and that's how I value my expertise. So that's the number one. First and foremost, I think about myself always. I'm selfish. I think about myself, number one. And number two, once I'm already taken care of and I'm happy within myself, okay, what can I do to the world, for the world? What can I do to other people? So make yourself happy first. Do the thing that you love, that will make you happy. Charge what you think it's fair, at least, because that's important, that's instrumental for your own happiness. And then from that place of abundance and fulfillment and happiness and self-love, self-acceptance, that's when you want to go to the world and try to offer value to other people. Yeah, especially when you're a life coach, who would want an advice from a life coach who doesn't have the shit together?
Yes, and it's leading by example. You can't ask your clients to do something that you're not prepared to do yourself.
Absolutely. And you can say everything. You can say all the right things. But guess what? People are not stupid. Especially today, our bullshit radar is so high. People are not stupid. You can say, yeah, I have a great life. Yeah, I have a 10 out of 10 confidence. But if you don't, people will smell it.
People pick it up.
Yes, people will smell it.
Yes.
People will just smell it. What I was saying with the fees, if you're too comfortable, it's time to get yourself out of your comfort zone. That very thing that you tell people all the time: go out of your comfort zone, go out of your comfort zone. When was the last time you got yourself out of your comfort zone? Lead by example. People can tell the difference, really.
Yes.
And if people, here's the beautiful thing: if people are really bought into you as a person, that's who you are as a person in any profession, will always be more important than your skill set in that particular profession. If you are in sales, if you're in coaching, if you're an accountant, people care more, a doctor, people care more about who you are as a human being. They care more about your integrity, your honesty, your transparency, and your niceness and your chemistry. They will care more about that than anything you can offer. So if nobody's gonna make a buying decision unless they bought into you. And when they really bought into you, that's why building a personal brand, a strong personal brand, is so important. When people are really sold on you, it doesn't matter what you charge, because they will pay whatever you ask them to pay, if they can physically afford it. So obviously, if you will charge premium, you don't look for clients in job centers, right? On council estates. It makes sense, right? But even you'll be surprised, people on regular income, if you create a desire for them to work with you, they will pay it. They will pay it, So next time somebody doesn't want to pay you what you charge, don't think, oh, they don't have money, because that's what they're going to tell you. Nobody's going to say to you, hey, listen, I don't want to work with you because I think you're full of shit. Nobody's going to, especially in this country, nobody's going to tell you that. So what they're going to tell you instead is, let me think about it. Or it's the money. No, it's almost never about the money, and almost always about the person's desire to work with you in particular.
And that comes from knowing your value. It's from having the confidence to
Yes.
know your value and having the self-belief in the work that you do. So all of these are like parts of a jigsaw puzzle. And when you've got all the parts in place, then you can charge higher prices.
Absolutely. There's lots of elements, yeah.
Yeah, lots of different elements that have to come together. What's the top tip, the number one thing that you can share about creating a strong, resilient, out of your comfort zone mindset?
Mm-hmm. I will, you said one thing, but there's two that come to my mind, and I'm going to share both. They're very much linked. Number one is linked with what I was saying earlier. Constantly push yourself out of your comfort zone. Constantly challenge yourself. I've been thinking about it recently for myself. Okay, business, great. Personal life, great. You're just like wonderful. I think I need another challenge. Then I thought, maybe I should get a six-pack. I never had a six-pack in my life. Like, nah, too much work. And I just don't need it enough, But I was just trying to come up with something so I can have another thing to work towards, other than just multiplying my income and, I don't know, meeting more and more people, my personal life. So, because I don't want to get to the point where, there's no challenge at all. So I
set you a challenge, Michael. I said, don't swear in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and it's, this is the most I've been challenged whole week. And I failed, by the way. I failed, right?
One little slip up. That's not too bad.
I dropped one F-bomb. So that's number one. Constantly challenge yourself. You can look at your life as a whole, or you can break your life into different areas and ask yourself, in each of those areas, when was the last time I pushed myself out of the comfort zone in that particular area? And if it's more than a year ago, then probably it's time to do something about it. And then, second part of the answer is to get a coach. Especially if you're a coach, you have to have a coach. Like a coach who doesn't have a coach is someone working for Evian who doesn't drink Evian. You have a meeting with them and they pull out a Coca-Cola or Pepsi. You work for Evian. You're talking to me about Evian. That how is that the best water and the best thing that you should drink, and you don't drink water. That's unimaginable. So how can we imagine, if that's unimaginable, how is it different for a coach not to have a coach? Because as cocky as I am, as fulfilled as I am, I don't fool myself that I know it all. I don't fool myself that I can see myself from the outside the way other people see me. I want to get feedback from other people. It's quite fortunate that because I coach coaches as well, sometimes they tell me stuff. Like one of my apprentices the other day, she's French. I mean, no English person ever say that to another human being like that. She was like, Michael, are you okay? You look like shit today. So I do get feedback from my clients as well, especially other.
That's some feedback.
Yeah, I'm like, thanks, And then obviously I thought about it, like, why did I look like shit? Did I really look like shit? That was after my gym workout, whatever. So that's my excuse anyway. But yeah, it's, and I'm not saying a mindset coach or life coach. When I say coach, I mean it in the broadest term, the broadest way possible. Whatever is the one area that you need or you require the most support in, there will be a coach of some sort or consultant that specializes in that area. Why not hire them? Oh, because I don't make enough money. But maybe you don't make enough money because you don't have that support, right? Like I spend a lot of money on coaching over the years, and I got a return on investment every single time. Not just return on investment, 2-fold, 5-fold, 10-fold return on investment. It's investing in yourself. It's like someone holding a mirror and say, hey, listen, that's how you really look. What you say about yourself right there, it's one thing, right? But that's how you really look. So are you more interested in what you think you look like or how you really look to the outside world? Okay, so let's talk. If that's what you're interested in more, let's talk. I can tell you. So,
yes, and if you don't invest in yourself, how can you expect your clients to invest?
Absolutely.
You have to lead by example, don't you?
Absolutely. I do have to say, my clients are often surprised when I tell them I have a coach. They're like, oh, you have a coach? I'm like, obviously. So I don't know why they're surprised. Still, I haven't figured out yet, but I'm going to LA now for a week after Christmas, and I was actually talking to him yesterday. I'm going to see Steve Hardison again, which I consider to be the best coach on the planet. And it's like, we'll be in LA. He's not in LA, he's in Phoenix, but it's only a short flight, or even if it's long, I would go there. So I'm going to see him again for a session, and it's very expensive and, inconvenient to fly to another city just for 2 hours with someone. But I believe in coaching. And at this point, fortunately and unfortunately, at this point of my career, I need to go and see life coaches at least in different countries, because in this country, they tend to come to me. So that's the kind of luxury problem that I have. But I have a business coach called Daniel Priestley, who's been my business coach for the last 2 years. Great guy, bunch of great books that he's written about business. Check them out. So yeah, push yourself. And, I said this to interlink because obviously a coach could help you make sure that you push yourself in the area that you want to push yourself in.
Yes, I think it's really important. I always have a coach because as you say, you can't see your own stuff sometimes. Someone else can point it out to you. And it's
Yeah.
also a form of denial, isn't it? If you don't have a coach, you can keep kidding yourself and
Oh,
justifying
yes.
stuff.
Oh, yes.
But a good coach is really going to not take your stories on board. They're going to strip away all the lies, get to the truth of the matter. And that's a really great way to jumpstart your life, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Brilliant. So what's the best way for our listeners to find out more about you and your work?
Very easy, michaelserwa.com. And from there, you can find everything about me.
Fantastic. So we'll put that link on the podcast. And thank you very much for joining me. You have
Very welcome.
Tremendous value. And I hope lots and lots of people listen to this, because really, really great advice and information. Thank you for sharing all of that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
And for everyone who's been watching and listening, thank you so much for joining us today. And please do join us again soon. Okay, bye-bye.